Interviu. Sveiki, čia Paulius Zanevičius iš Perkūno namų. Esu Kablyje, kur vyksta Night of the Living Doom festivalis ir kalbuosi su grupe ESOTERIC. So, hi ESOTERIC.
Hello.
How do you do?
We're cool, we're just a bit tired because we're on tour.
So, how is the current tour going on?
It's going successfully so far, as far as like the shows themselves are going. We had a bit of a disaster in the van because our van broke down and we had to miss a show. Where was that show? Szczecin. We missed a show in Poland because the van broke down, but apart from that, it's been successful. It's gone ahead as planned. It's been good, enjoyable.
ESOTERIC is one of the earliest bands to be described as funeral doom metal.
Okay.
Do you associate yourself with that genre, and do you listen to other funeral doom metal bands?
Not personally, no. I think maybe the rest of the guys do, perhaps. Sometimes we listen to a wide range of different styles of music as well, individually. We've all got quite diverse tastes. I don't think we ever called ourselves funeral doom, did we?
No. The term didn't even exist when ESOTERIC started. We'd never heard it for years, until years after we started.
No, but I don't mind personally. People can call us whatever they want as long as it's a positive result.
What could you tell us about the formation of the band and the scene of doom metal of that day? Did you feel that you were doing something completely new back then?
I think we were trying to do something new, yeah, because we wanted to do something that we didn't hear in other music, something that was personal from ourselves, but also something that stood out on its own as being different. So.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to do stuff that we wanted to hear as well, and there weren't that many bands out there doing the stuff that we wanted to hear, sort of like really dark metal stuff, but with lots of sort of effects like reverbs and echoes and stuff like that.
How did other people in the metal underground, I mean the other bands and listeners and promoters react when you released that first demo, ESOTERIC Emotions?
It was a mixed reaction, I think. We had some people who were very interested because it was something different to what they'd heard before. And then we had a lot of people who weren't interested or thought it was too slow, too long. They wanted, at the time, fast music, especially in death and black metal. Bands were getting faster and faster, and there was a lot of interest in bands who could play very fast, very well. And so I think at the start, in those times, it was very difficult for anyone to actually to get people to actually listen to the music for what it is, instead of they have to think this isn't death metal, this isn't black metal, so we listen to it for something new.
Wasn't that something like underground in the underground?
Yeah. I mean, I think even today, extreme doom is not a very popular form of music. So,
is that more popular now than at the time?
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, nowadays we can play shows in many different countries, and we can play festivals sometimes, and do tours and release albums, and in the early days there was nowhere near as much support from music fans as there is now. But this scene has grown a lot, and I think there are a lot of bands now who play in the extreme doom style.
Interview. Your first full-length album, Epistemological Despondency, well, it's really something, well, not from this earth. And every time I listen to it, it blows my mind completely. So, what was the main idea behind this record, both musically and lyrically? How did you come to it, and how did you make it?
Musically, the songs were a collaboration between myself and Gordon, and we were doing songs on our own as well. And we rehearsed a lot as a band. We used to take the songs into rehearsal and play them and develop the sounds and so on. Yeah, lyrically, I guess the songs deal a lot with just states of mind, emotions, experiences, philosophies.
What were the main inspirations when you made this album?
I think mainly just the darker sides of the mind, darker states of mind, darker emotions, the kind of emotions that can consume you if you don't release them, if you don't channel them into something.
And what were the musical influences? Is that influence from some other metal, or things like Tangerine Dream and ambient?
I think, as Gordon said earlier, we have very diverse tastes of music in the band. Everyone listens to different music and many different styles of music. So I think the influence is, some of the extremity comes from metal bands, but there are also extreme musicians and artists and composers out there who write classical music, or who do industrial music or dark ambient music and psychedelic music, and we don't tend to listen to just one genre of music. We just listen to music and forget about the style or the category. It's just whether it touches you or it does something for you.
ESOTERIC has an unusual lineup. You use 3 guitars. Is it very difficult to arrange all the instruments to sound right when you use so many?
It's more difficult. It's a little more difficult when you have more instruments to compose for, because while it gives you more versatility in terms of writing a song and composing a song, it also means you have less space to contend with in the mix, in the sound, because you have to try to get more definition from each instrument. So it has some very good benefits, and it also has some things which make it a little more difficult.
As far as I noticed, most ESOTERIC fans, at least in this country, say their favorite album is Maniacal Veil.
Uh-huh.
And which record are you most proud of yourself?
I don't really have any particular one. I think it's when you're in a band, or for me personally being in a band, I think you always know all the events and what has happened during the time leading up to the album recording, and sometimes you get a bit more time, sometimes you have a better, stronger time rehearsing and a more stable lineup. Yeah, it's a different process. You can't compare them directly, and you have more age and hindsight on your side as well each time. So I think the aim is always to just do the best that you can within the time that you have, and try not to spend too long on it, otherwise you end up kind of going in circles.
But afterwards, when you make the music, when you release another album, do you look retrospectively? Do you listen to your old records and compare them?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, by the time we finish recording and mixing the album, we tend to know them very well anyway, so especially when we rehearse the songs often as well.
We kind of, once we've recorded an album, we tend to have like a week or a couple of weeks off and don't listen to it, and then kind of go back to listening to it afterwards, to listen to it with fresh ears as well, because when you've been in the studio for a very long time, you tend to get so used to the songs that they lose their edge, and then you've got to have a couple of weeks off and then come back to it, really.
your latest CD, Paragon of Dissonance. It seems to be a little bit lighter from an atmospherical point of view, maybe more post-rock influences or something than the previous CDs. Are you planning to move in that direction in the future, or did that just happen on the CD?
No, not at all. No, we haven't really started writing for the next album yet. There is a little bit of post-rock influence from myself because I just like that kind of sound, half distorted, half not distorted. But it usually all leads up to like a pretty epic, heavy sort of piece. Anyway, and I don't think we intend to go in any direction with anything that we ever write. It just comes out. It just comes out as it is, really. When we're writing stuff, I tend to use lots of effects when I'm writing, and the effects processors and the echoes and reverbs and stuff that I mentioned earlier, they tend to make me play in a specific way, and that's how I come across a lot of the different parts that I write. I don't rely on the effects, but they do help a lot, because that's the kind of thing I want to achieve. I want to achieve something that's really psychedelic myself, personally, and heavy as well.
When can we expect your 7th CD?
Next year, I think.
Next year, yeah, that'll be coming out next year on Season of Mist, I believe. Yeah, they've looked after as well, so yeah.
Okay, so these were all questions, and maybe what else would you like to say to the doom metal fans in Lithuania?
Thank you to everyone who came to the show tonight, and thanks to everyone in Lithuania who supports the band, and hopefully we'll have a good show tonight.
Yeah, man, yeah, thanks for inviting us over, and we'll see you again.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sure this is gonna be a mind-blowing gig.
Thank you, yeah, it will be.